Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy Hamez, and I'm with my boy Sean.
Yo.
How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. How are you?
All good, all good. So today we are bringing back No Holds Barred, the wrestling podcast for wrestling fans, and today we're gonna start off by reviewing Wrestlemania 39. What an event that was, bro!
It was a great event. Both nights, really good.
Insane. The build-up was amazing. Not for all the matches, for most of the matches.
Some matches could have done with better build-up, but
yes.
they took what they had to work with. As in, they took the ball, they scored a really good goal.
That's it.
In football terms.
In football terms, we might be using a lot of football terms today, ladies and gentlemen of the supposed jury. We're not in court today. We are recording a podcast, so let's start off with match number 1. I got my notes right here. So we got John Cena versus Austin Theory. So what do you think about that match?
I'm such a John Cena fan. I can't help but be disappointed at the ending because I'm a John Cena fan.
Yeah.
In fact, I predicted John Cena to win because I thought he's coming back after the promo he cut on Theory, especially. He cut a really good promo on Theory. It's not... He exposed the Theory a bit on the microphone with his promo. But that's a John Cena promo. He does that all the time.
That was the point of the promo, though. To really... how do you say... Like, the fans had this point of view about him already. And the point of the whole feud with Cena was to get over that, basically. And honestly, Cena was spot on in his promo. Because Theory, he literally has everything. He has... The look, the charisma, and he gets it. He really gets the business. And his problem was he wasn't actually believing in himself enough, I think. Like his promos, he was trying too hard. Now, after his program with Cena, he's there. He gets it, and he is really in the zone now. And for me, after this, I truly started to believe in Austin Theory now.
The thing with Austin Theory is as well, he's a big John Cena fan, both on screen and off. So he also overcame his hero. He built himself up more. He's no longer the John Cena fan, Austin Theory. He's just Austin Theory now, the United States champion. It was important as well.
No, he's really coming into his own. So from what I remember from the match,
it was a slow match, but I mean, John Cena's 46. John Cena hasn't been in a competitive match since Roman Reigns, Money in the Bank. So slow match, but John Cena bumped around. John Cena put his body on the line for Austin Theory.
Definitely, that was one of the things I noticed because especially in his match, he had a tag team match in December, the last SmackDown of the year, against. He was teaming with Kevin Owens against, who was it? It was Roman and Sami, I believe. And he didn't do anything. He was just waiting there for the hot tag, and he did the hot tag, no bumps. And that makes sense because he is under a lot of pressure from Hollywood and he needs to take care of his body. And the fact that he was actually out there taking bumps for Austin Theory and put him over is just... No, the respect level for John Cena was already really high, and it just went even higher.
The finish made sense as well. Ref bump, low blow, pin. Austin Theory, I don't think Austin Theory is at the level where he can beat John Cena clean. At this level.
It doesn't make sense because he's a heel at the same time, so he needs to get his heat as well. But yeah, as I wrote here, it was an entertainment-based match, so not too many big moves. It's the first match of the card, so the first match is there to like set the stage, build the tone. You shouldn't be doing any crazy stuff in the first match. So they worked the crowd was into it. Just set the tone for the rest of the show.
John Cena's entrance was so wholesome as well.
Yeah,
with all the
Make-A-Wish kids as well. Yeah.
It touched my heart. I really enjoyed it.
And I just noticed like really good crowd work from Theory, really good heel work. He was taking his time after every move. He stops, he goes to the crowd, works the crowd, then goes back. It was really top tier heel work from Theory.
He gets his role perfectly.
He really gets it. Just mad respect for Cena for taking the bumps, honestly, and pulling him over. And really good way to start the show.
Entertaining.
Any other thoughts about this match?
Not really. I mean, we've covered all of it right now.
Pretty much covered it all. You thought Cena was gonna win at
Yeah,
first,
I did
though,
think
right?
Cena was gonna win. Personal bias, so I thought Thea was gonna have a bigger redemption arc against his hero. He'll conquer him. But then again, what better way to conquer your hero than on the biggest stage in front of 75,000 people? So from that end, I think it was more Cena biased than...
I mean, Cena's going back to Hollywood now, so I don't think they're gonna really have a program. It was just a big WrestleMania match, but now it depends on how they go with Theory moving forward, to be honest. Second match was the tag team showcase match.
My match of the night.
So
my favorite match of the night.
that was like really unexpected. It was more of like a way to like get everyone to be on the show, to be on the card, and they really did a good job of making themselves memorable, basically. So
I remember all four teams for different reasons. Strowman, Ricochet. I predicted Strowman, Ricochet to win as well, because I mean, the big man, little man, and you've got Strowman taking a dive from the top rope as well. He didn't just relegate the flying to Ricochet and the strength to him. They worked off that together,
and that was a really cool moment, especially
really
Strowman from the top rope,
splash.
Then the running around the ring, the train, getting stopped by Dawkins. And then freaking Ricochet with the jumping reverse freaking...
Remember when they used to do the choo-choo train sound effect for Strowman when he did that?
Yeah.
Funny times. Even Alpha Academy were entertaining.
They're
Academy.
really entertaining. Bro, Otis was awesome, man.
None of them. You'd expect Otis to be the funny and Gable to be the technical one. They both work off each other really well. Both of them are fun. I can't get when Gable go, thank you. That's it pops me. Viking Raiders are so cool.
Yes, they have a really good like visual, especially
with Valhalla. Wow.
My only issue with them has always been when they speak. Like
I haven't heard them speak in a while.
They have American accents.
They're Vikings.
And they're Vikings. And that just ruins their whole gimmick. And I think that's why they're not really speaking that much anymore. Because, like, I get it, you're trying to, like, it's a tribute to the Vikings and all that stuff. But we're used to seeing Vikings on Netflix and with those, you know, those Viking accents, you know. And when... it just cheapens it a bit. And I think the fact that they brought in Valhalla as well to help them. And, like, she's doing the talking, I think that really helps.
Valhalla was the missing piece of the puzzle, because usually in big men tag teams that can't speak, you need a third person to help them out. The tag team go at it, they do the power moves, they pop the crowd, and the third one speaks for them. Exactly. They get them over,
and they get their heat
exactly
as well.
So I think they were, and the Street Profits are just fun.
Street Profits
They're
are just
fun.
Another level, man. Especially Montez, man. His level of athleticism is insane, man. Insane. Titus O'Neil as well.
Titus O'Neil on commentary. I remember he couldn't swear. He couldn't say shit. So he just said strawberry iced tea or something
sugar,
like
honey,
sugar honey iced tea.
Yeah, it was a Madagascar reference. Sugar honey iced tea.
Gable suplexing who was it? Strowman was not on my bingo card for this year.
I mean, yeah, Gable's just a monster.
Gable's so good. He sold the Crossroads on Raw like death.
Yeah,
that's the best Crossroads I've ever seen.
Really good stuff. Just what I wrote here was basically this was a preview of the awesome high spots to come this weekend. So it makes sense why it was second on the card. So the first match was a preview of the drama to come, and the second match was a preview of the insane spots to come. So both of them, I think they worked really well as just a preview of the entire weekend, basically. So moving on, match 3, Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul. My favorite ever wrestler, Logan Paul.
Love Logan Paul. Great wrestler. To be fair, they started off with the insane entrances. I liked both men's entrances. WrestleMania needs the big entrances. The conductor for Seth, Logan Paul coming in from the zip line, the prime bottle. From an entrance point of view, I was thoroughly entertained from the start. Seth Rollins is always entertaining. Seth Rollins
these
is
guys?
always entertaining.
No, Seth Rollins is
Everything
the
he
man.
does.
Seth Rollins is the man.
I think Seth Rollins has come into his own more now because he has nothing to prove. He's a multi-time champion in every. He's won every title now. US, he held the US Intercontinental
Intercontinental, has he held
WWE. Tag team, he's won everything, so he has nothing left to prove. So he can just have fun in his role.
Pretty
and
much.
He's killing it in everything he does.
Pretty much. I mean, seeing Logan Paul do the Shawn Michaels entrance, I was like, bro, are you serious? But all of this stuff, it just gets him heat. Like, that's... Listen, I hate Logan Paul.
Right? I had to look up that Shawn Michaels entrance because I don't know what he was referencing. I wasn't alive back then for the Shawn Michaels
Fair enough. But yeah, with Logan Paul, like, okay, I'm not the biggest fan of him personally, but he gets it.
It's an art versus artist thing with Logan Paul.
In what way?
As in, his art is wrestling, you separate it from the artist, Logan Paul, the person. That's how I see it, if you don't like the person. As a wrestler, this is my first match I've seen of him. I haven't watched much WWE this year, to be fair. And he's impressed me. He's not a Gable, a Cody, a Ricochet level, but he's believable as a professional, and that's what you need, especially as a celebrity. We've gone from the days of remember Snooki at WrestleMania, that when they're cheating with John Morrison. We've gone from the days of Snoop Dogg, who is also on the show, to be fair, doing nothing, to an actual professional wrestler
running the ropes like this, bro. But yeah, with Logan, what I noticed was, so positioning wise, footwork wise, he's there, he's got it. Athleticism wise, he's got it. Promo wise,
he's a Disney Channel
he's getting
star.
there.
He came from Disney Channel, so it's a different beast.
It's I mean, he can talk, he can definitely talk, but then it's about like translating that into the confines of pro wrestling, which I think he will get by time, honestly. And in the ring, one thing that I noticed was he was maybe rushing a little bit when it came to, like, after the move, you need to stop, work the crowd, then move to the next move. He was just that thing which I noticed Austin Theory doing. I noticed that Logan Paul wasn't doing. That was the only thing that I could really say about him, because everything else, like the moves and everything crisp, you know. I mean, he's working with one of, if not the best wrestler in the world right now.
Seth Rollins is so good.
I mean, he can have a match with this freaking Coke bottle
and make it entertaining.
It would make it still entertaining. So Buckshot,
the prime bottle, being KSI. I did not expect the prime bottle to get a pop on WrestleMania. If that was also not something I expected.
No, that was
the
that
prime
was a
being
mark-out moment.
Respect to KSI for taking the frog splash as well.
Yeah. I mean, if you're there,
the bottle was probably padded, but when he took the frog splash, the bottle was flat. The costume flattened, so he must have hit his stomach for sure. He took the bump probably.
No, he took it. He took it definitely. I mean,
so fair enough. Whenever a non-wrestler takes a bump, I respect it.
Yeah. I mean, I popped, man. When he removed his face, I see KSI going, "You mad, bro? You mad?" No, that was a mark out moment, bro. I popped hard for that. The titanium right hand, I noticed as well.
Titanium right hand is
they worked that really well, man. I saw that.
It's always believable when there's like, this is like the MJF Dynamite Diamond ring. No, MJF has the ring. He knocks people out. If you look at it from a first time perspective, that's a ring. How is it gonna knock you out? But they work it well, even with the titanium right hand. Seth Rollins sells it a lot. So it becomes believable then. You suspend your disbelief. Okay, the titanium right hand is a move. The Dynamite Diamond ring is a move.
Exactly. It's like what they used to do in the 70s, I guess, 70s, 80s with Cowboy Bob Orton. He had his cast. He broke his hand. And his hand stayed broken throughout his entire career, basically. So he just used the cast, hit the people with the cast, and they would just sell the cast as if it was, you just got shot in the head or something.
The commentators were there for it as well. The commentators sold it like Seth Rollins got shot.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, it's all about that's the good thing with having really good commentary is that they really amplify the match. So yeah,
it was beautiful about pro wrestling as well. You can get a right hand with a titanium finger over. It's beautiful.
If you plan an entire show around it, you can win a match with a headlock. Honestly, you can make the headlock seem like it's the most devastating move ever. It's just about everyone working together as a team. So if you got the first match, if you got a Mark Henry, for example, and he puts you on a headlock, you're not gonna get out of that.
I'm dead instantly.
So if you sell that accordingly, people will believe it.
Which is a skill in its own right. So props to Logan and Seth again for selling it as such.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, in my opinion, just very entertaining match. Seth guided Logan through it very well. Logan really held his own. Yeah, I'm all for KSI and Logan being like a
Bring them back.
Like a heel tag team, just being those social media assholes, man. Like always plugging their stuff, always plugging their prime, you know.
Logan's out of contract. Bring him back.
Nah, they're gonna
bring him back. They have to.
They have to sign him back. Match 4 was the 6-woman tag team match. So there was Damage Control against Trish, Becky, and Lita.
I think this was the filler match. In being before the surprise Pat McAfee moment, I think this was the match everyone associated with filler. I mean, for older fans, they had the nostalgia. I wasn't alive for the main attraction of Lita and Trish teaming, so for me it was just, I know who they are, I'm familiar with their work, but I don't have the nostalgic attachment to them. I think that's what sold the match, really.
I mean, that was like the main attraction, obviously, and it's a real shame that this match was sort of perceived as the filler, because especially Damage Control and Becky, they are world-class workers. Like all three members of Damage Control and Becky, world-class workers. Trish and Lita, they were basically pioneers, because before them the only thing that women's wrestling was known for is bra and panties match and matches in mud.
Things we can't say on air.
So yeah, it's a real shame, and I think they all put in a really good showing.
They put on a good shift. The placement of it sucked, because it was in between Rey, Dominik, and Logan,
Seth and Logan. I mean, the card was
crazy. The card is crazy. The thing about Damage Control is I don't think they're credible. As in, individually they're really good, but they've won the tag titles. But the tag titles are the most disrespected thing, I think, in the WWE right now. I think R-Truth has better treatment than the women tag titles.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because R-Truth is booked into a comedy role, so you're meant to laugh at him. You're not meant to laugh at the tag titles.
I mean, it's up to the actual superstars to make the titles. It's up to the champion to make the title.
It's up to them, but they've lost every match. Bayley and Bianca. Remember Bayley and Bianca? Bayley lost everything. Bayley lost every single match to Bianca. The leader of Damage Control. They didn't build... They returned at SummerSlam in it's a Triple H era, great moment. They're all back. Then they floundered a bit. To be fair to them, to work with Becky, Lita and Trish on the biggest stage, fair play. That's not a role you'd give to random women's wrestlers, so fair enough to them, because they're good workers. It's just, I predicted Becky to win, so...
I mean, it was a feel-good moment as well, you know. So, one thing I noticed, which was a big difference between Becky and Lita. So when Becky was taking the heat, she really worked... how do you say it? She really worked to build the hot tag. So she started off in their corner, then slowly moving to the center, then getting almost close to the hot tag, then getting cut off. And just that work, like if you're a trainee pro wrestler, it's a really good thing to study. And compare that with when Lita was taking the heat. Lita didn't work the hot tag like at all. So I think that was like the big difference between Becky and Lita. I mean, of course, Lita, she's not a full-time wrestler anymore. Becky's you know, she's on it every week.
Yeah. That's excusable from that end, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're from different eras as well.
True.
But at the same time, it just highlights how good Becky
Weren't they on it?
really is.
Wasn't Lita, you'd have to tell me on this, wasn't Lita in an era where Mania only had one women's match?
If you had one women's match, yeah.
Yeah. On WrestleMania, on this Mania, we have 4.
So, yeah,
it's a big step up.
That's a big difference. So, match 5.
I'm gonna talk. For me, this was the worst match on the show, as in being the worst match on a good card is not it wasn't a bad match. It was just the least entertaining for me, as in since it was so predictable, I liked it the least. But again, being the worst match on a good card, it's still a 7 out of 10 match.
Yeah.
That's still a really good match.
It was stacked. The whole card was stacked, to be honest. Match 5.
Everyone's favorite. This was everyone's favorite.
Rey versus Dom, bro. The only time that I cry is I cry once a year, guys. And it's during WrestleMania. Okay?
Fair enough.
And I'm not joking when I say that Rey versus Dom, I had freaking tears in my eyes throughout the whole match, man. That was so emotional. It was... When I was a kid, I watched. And it was like my biggest wrestling memory. 2005 SummerSlam. Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, ladder match for the custody of fucking Dominik.
I remember that.
Okay.
We're gonna have to blur that one out in post.
Yeah, I don't care. This match was just insane. For me, it was literally just that whole story coming full circle, honestly, and the involvement with Rey's family, Dominik really coming into his own with Judgment Day, and yes, just especially with Dominik, because at first, like, no one believed in him. No one believed in him.
I remember when Dominik joined Judgment Day, everyone was calling for Dominik's head.
Yeah,
and in the wrong kind of heat, the go-away heat, not the heel heat.
I mean, at the end of the day, heat is heat. And,
but there's a difference. There's a difference between the Baron Corbin heat and the current day Dominik Mysterio. Because Baron Corbin back in the day used to have terrible heat. Not the kind of heat where boo this man, the heat where I don't want you on the show. If you're on the show, I'm going to the bathroom. I'm tuning out. But Dominik was white meat at that stage. But now with Judgment Day, they've helped him out so much.
And I noticed even like when he's out there alone by himself, he's not 100% there. But if he's got Rhea with him, or like Damien, or Finn, just one of those guys like really like giving him a pat on the back, and just that small thing for him, like starting out, it really helps. And he's just really just coming into his own, man. He's got the hair like Eddie, doing
their entrances as well.
The entrances, the theme songs, the freaking mask, and everything about it was just amazing, man.
Dominik is so helped by the people as well, because everyone, you look online, hey, that's ex-Condom right there, don't disrespect ex-Condom. The people love him now, and he that plays into it so much.
But that comes from him, because he
worked for
it. He
got
it over, and he's over.
Out of context. Imagine telling someone out of context on the biggest stage you're gonna cheer a man beating his own son. Out of context, that sounds crazy.
Listen, a lot of wrestling out of context is really.
It does sound out of context, but this storyline especially, man gets a pop on SmackDown for beating his son. To be fair, I predicted Dom to win this. I predicted Dominik because I thought in my head Hall of Fame, Mysterio's in the Hall of Fame, retire his son. His son retires him. Now, obviously, with hindsight knowing he just had a match on Raw, he's gonna keep going. So, if I knew that, I would have. I thought in my head, okay, this is the retirement match. So Dominik goes over. Never mind.
No, Rey says he wants to retire at 50. So he's
got a good few years left in him.
Something left in the tank for sure.
Really feel good moment though. Really. Night 1 especially was full of feel good moments.
Yeah, compared to night 2.
Night 2.
My God. I wanted to say something, but I forgot. The match that they are building up to now in Puerto Rico, bro. Rey Mysterio and Bad Bunny against Damian Priest and Dominik is gonna be freaking epic.
Bad Bunny is also a really good wrestler.
He's really good, man.
I think we're in an age where celebrities are putting in the work more. I think the company's demanding more from celebrities. Because even, I know your thoughts on Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey is an MMA fighter, but she's still a celebrity. But she still works a good wrestling style. She's still a professional wrestler.
No, I disagree with you on that. She doesn't train. That's her problem. She doesn't train. She doesn't care. And she shouldn't be there.
We'll get back to this Ronda thing when we cover night 2 now. Yeah. So
I mean, screw Ronda Rousey, man. Just Rey versus Dom was just pro wrestling at its very best, honestly.
The storyline was almost overshadows the match. The storyline.
I mean, it's all about storyline. That match, it's all story, man. So match 6 was Rhea versus Charlotte.
My second favorite match of the night.
It was a really, 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 really good match from both of them. Very unfortunate that they put them right after Dom versus Rey. I don't know if, in hindsight, I think Dom versus Rey should have been on night 2. Because
what goes night 1 then?
Anything,
almost broke.
Anything, even the maybe. I was gonna say like the Fatal 4-Way women's match, but then you should put a bit of.
You can't put 2 dead matches one after, because I mean not dead, because dead sounds really.
I wasn't gonna say dead matches. I was
no,
just gonna say
that sounds as in matches with less fan investment. You had Dom versus Rey, which was a very highly invested match. People were emotionally invested in it. Sami, Zayn, and Usos as well. You can't just put one of them and swap it with one. You have to swap like with like there. But Rhea Ripley, unpopular opinion, Rhea Ripley, one of the best women's wrestlers, if not the best women's wrestler in the WWE right now.
I don't think that's very unpopular, bro. I mean, that's... Rhea, she's just a star. She just has it.
She has it. Yeah.
She's mommy.
Judgment Day have helped everyone. Judgment Day have helped all 4 members.
Yes, props to Edge actually for that, because I'm sure he really
Edge started it. For that. Edge started it. Finn Balor took it under his own. Finn Balor pushed everyone to a different level. I think the only one that's benefited the least is Damian Priest, to be fair, because he hasn't got a main. He didn't have a Mania match.
Damian Priest is really coming into his own as well, though.
He is coming into his own.
Where he was before.
I think next year is Damian Priest's year. If this was Rhea and Dominik's year, next year's Damian Priest.
I hope so, because that guy is, again, like, in the ring, he's so good. On the mic, he was lacking in confidence a lot. And now, again, with this whole Judgment Day character, he's really coming into his own, because he's got a really, really cool look. He's got a really cool gimmick. His name is literally Damian Priest. Half devil, half angel. You know, it's a really cool concept. And within the...
That's what he was missing, the charisma. That's what I was thinking. He was missing, because pre-Judgment Day, everyone said the same thing. Oh, he's so good. Damian Priest is so good in the ring, but he's just not that charismatic.
It just comes from confidence, honestly, and just finding yourself. And right now, he is finding himself. So just like Rhea found herself, just like Dom found himself, now Damian is... I mean, I think he's already there. He just needs to be booked more prominently now, which would start with this tag team match.
Yeah. The difference in Rhea Ripley. Remember when she started out in NXT?
Yeah, she was so different. Yeah.
A blonde young woman. Now she's different. Even between WrestleManias, even between Charlotte matches she had at the previous WrestleMania, completely.
Rhea Ripley was really coming into her own, man.
An incredibly hard-hitting match between the two women. They really brought everything. For being the match before the main event, of course, without knowing McAfee Miz was coming, they made sure that they weren't seen as the second best. You could consider co-main event. They were that good.
No, they had a point to prove because Charlotte, especially, she was really pissed off that this wasn't the last match of the card, and I don't blame her for being angry at it, because if you're not angry at it, then like what the hell are you doing? Being a wrestler, you know, obviously you want to be the main event. I was really disappointed with the build-up for this, especially from Charlotte's end, in terms of promos. And I think the problem is that Charlotte is just not a babyface. She just isn't. No. Okay, she's just a natural heel. And I think that was really what held this program back, was just Charlotte being a babyface. Rhea Ripley, just very, very happy for her, because she's got it. She's got everything. So, yeah, I'm really happy with that match. In my opinion, I know that was the best women's match I've ever seen. So I think that means a lot. Listen, I don't watch all of the independents or Stardom and all of that, so maybe I'm not the best mind to talk about women's wrestling, but from the women's wrestling that I have watched, from WWE, AEW, yeah, that was a really, really, really good match from both of them. Final thoughts on the match?
Yeah, best women's match in the WWE for sure. I don't think I've been that invested in a women's match in a while. It's funny you say Charlotte was the face, because going into it, I've watched a couple of Raws before of it just to get a feel, but I thought, based on crowd reaction, especially Rhea Ripley was going to be the face of... Charlotte's just too naturally born to be a heel.
Yeah.
Charlotte's got the walk of someone who knows they're superior to you, even when they're a good person. The way they carry themselves, like she comes with the robo, holy shit, she's classy, she's upper class. She's not like us.
I mean, even just being called the Queen.
The Queen, come on.
It's, yeah, they have to turn her heel now. And her no-selling it, like being happy that she lost, and it's like, okay, you're happy for Rhea Ripley, but it's like... Stay in character, bro. Like, come on, man. It's not that difficult, like... But yeah, really good match in the ring.
That took away from it. That took away, because it was gonna be my match of the night. My match of the night was the tag 4-way. That was Rhea Ripley Charlotte was gonna be my match of the night. But when I saw her just smile, you lost the title. You lost.
Like, at least try, man.
She's gonna win it back on Raw anyway at some point.
I hope not. Match 7 was unexpected, was Pat McAfee versus The Miz. In my opinion, this was the perfect match to follow the women's title match. You know, it gives the people a bit of a rest, you know, before going into the main, you know, the tag title match. It was like high stakes. What do you think about this match?
It was a fine match, but it was short. I mean, McAfee went over, no? McAfee won. I wasn't paying much attention, because the commentary stole it for me. The commentary, seeing Michael Cole being so happy with everything, was so wholesome.
I bet they didn't even know about it. No, none of them.
You can't fake that reaction.
And honestly, bro, Graves was bringing out peak hater energy, bro, and I'm all for it, man. I because he was right, bro. I totally agree. Like, Pat McAfee just goes to do American football commentary, and Graves is there week in, week out. Like, he was a wrestler in NXT. He was a pretty good wrestler. He had a cool finishing move, man, that Lucky 13 submission. And it was a real shame what happened to him, honestly. And I am all for Graves versus McAfee, and I just think they should put McAfee on Raw. To be honest, like, if he can come on Raw,
if his schedule permits, go for it.
Just him and Graves, just, bro, that was good stuff. That was good stuff. Either him or Titus O'Neil needs to be on Raw, because the Raw commentary team is just dead at this point. Like, that Irish guy, what's his name, man?
I have no idea.
The Irish guy. He's just... What are you doing, man? Like, come on, man. There's so many people who are... Like, this is Raw, man. This is Monday Night Raw.
Your flagship show. The biggest show of the week.
And you've got... No, man. No. Okay, so main event.
Main event.
Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. No, Kevin
were
Owens.
tagging.
No, they were tagging this time. They were actually together this time. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Usos. Man, I was hyped for this match.
Yeah.
I'm just the entire storyline, man.
The story behind, I think this storyline between the Usos and Zayn, especially Zayn, overshadowed Cody's story with Roman.
Yeah, I mean, it was the bigger. I mean, Cody and Roman only got to face each other like once Cody won the Rumble. Before that, they had nothing to do with each other. Sami, he's been literally there since April, man. So, I mean, just the rest. Let's talk about the wrestling match.
Yeah,
itself.
of course.
Just 4 of the greatest workers of our generation. Honestly, the Usos, I already told you, man, like I'm a big Uso mark. Just the bloodline, all of them, man, they're just so good, and like just watching them to like study them, like they are so good, man. The way they take their time for everything, their psychology, you know, splitting the ring in half, the promos, everything, man, and just Kevin and Sami, you know, a story 20 years in the making, pretty much. You know, they started out together, tagging together. Yeah, just really good, man.
They bring out the best in each other. Michael Cole mentioned El Generico as well. the Graves as well. Graves put on a good line. He said, "No one. It's a good thing he's not on. He never got a WrestleMania moment." Companies acknowledging El Generico will never not be funny to me.
I mean, that's how Sami started. So
Yeah.
I think it's good on WWE to acknowledge that.
They're doing it more. They're doing it a lot more. They introduced Dragon Lee on NXT as an IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion as well. They're doing it way more.
It makes sense because, like, all right, not everyone's gonna know what the IWGP is, but it sounds legit. It just brings legitimacy to that wrestler, you know, and like it doesn't make sense to diminish the guy's past accomplishments because he's in WWE. Like, I get that you want to market him in your own way, but something like this, it will only like elevate his stock. So yeah, it was really just a really good, really good match, you know, like lots of back and forth, especially near the end, you know. It keeps you on your toes, like really building up that energy, and like really getting you invested in it, and then just the payoff. Boom. And it was just really awesome stuff. So yeah, that caps off night 1 of WrestleMania. What are your thoughts on the show in general?
So it's a really good night for wrestling. This is my first big WWE pay-per-view coming back, and I was actually really entertained. I went in with no expectations. I knew Triple H era, it's gonna be better, but I was surprised at how good it actually was. Yeah. It started off slow, then just when it hit its crescendo, just kept going.
No, it was a really good show. Probably better than night 2, which was, in my opinion at least, let's say, which was not really the plan. But obviously night 2 needs to be like, it's always building up. But I guess let's like night 1 was, as you mentioned earlier, the feel good night. Night 2 was when like all your hopes just come crashing down.
Curb stomp, goodbye, hope's gone.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that ending for night 2 was just. Oh.
We'll cover that.
Yeah, we'll cover that in the second part. But one thing to like really note was all the advertising on the show. And one thing I noticed was the product placement are placed during times when, or during the moments when you are at your most vulnerable emotionally. So like during the entrances, after the victories, you know, the celebrations, you know. So as soon as like you're happy that Kevin and Sami won, and you're like so like into it, and then boom, TurboTax. So it's like the that is when you are more susceptible to remember stuff. So that's when they put it there. But they just ruined the moment for you, bro. Like, why was there a cinnamon toast crunch right after Rey's emotional entrance when he comes out, like, referencing to Eddie Guerrero, like, comes out to Eddie Guerrero's theme song in the lowrider with Snoop Dogg, and then there's a cinnamon toast crunch thing, like...
It's weird.
Like, it's sort of similar to how they do with American football. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's like a game built for advertisements, man. And so yeah, so what did you think of night one in general? Did you think that it was better than night two, or
I preferred night two. Because I'm gonna touch on this more when we get to night two. But the crowd audio mixing was poor by WrestleMania standards. You have 75,000 people. They paid good money to be there. I'm sure WrestleMania tickets are expensive. You couldn't hear them. You could not hear the people. You hear... Who was I hearing? You hear Rhea Ripley and Charlotte just calling out to screaming, selling moves, but you do not hear the crowd. The crowd had no reaction. I'm sure there were people probably going crazy for it, hitting the avalanche riptide. That gets a reaction. I couldn't hear it. I could hear nothing. It took me out of it.
that's what kind of happens when you get stadium shows, because the sound just goes up and out compared to an arena where the sound just keeps just, you know.
But night 2 sound was really good. Night 2 sound was really, really good.
Okay, so you saw a difference between night 1 and night 2.
Maybe
they noticed it after night 1 and just fixed it for night 2 maybe. But
I'm sure they did. If they didn't do it, I mean, you have to learn. You have to better. Night 2 is meant to be the end of WWE season 2023.
Pretty much, yeah. So, yeah, pretty good show overall. In my opinion, I think it was the better of the two shows. It was an insanely good pay-per-view, like top to bottom. And, just really good performance from everyone involved. Literally, like, everyone deserves something, man. What we're gonna give them? A round of applause? No, we're not gonna.
We've bigged them up on the podcast this entire time, so
that's the biggest like award that you can get as a mention on this podcast.
Of course.
Apparently.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, guys, we're gonna catch you later. We're going to be reviewing night 2. It should be up very, very, very soon. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button, comment, share this with your friends, with your family. Tell your grandma as well.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe she'll like this podcast as well. Who knows? Maybe you should get your grandma to start watching wrestling with you guys. Let's make that a thing. So this has been Hamez, and of course my boy Sean, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Peace.